You are watching Travel World Online.
The Kashmir International Conference Centre, KIC, Srinagar was the venue for a significant gathering on 13th April, themed Tourism Beyond G20, unveiling Jammu and Kashmir's tourism treasures. This day-long conference was a collaborative effort between the Indian Chamber of Commerce, ICC, J&K Tourism Committee, JKTC, and various tourism and hospitality associations of Jammu and Kashmir.
Excerpts from the interview.
So finally, we have Dr. Mr. Goyal from Delhi coming to promote Kashmir, and he has been doing a lot of work to promote Kashmir on international level. Sir, what about the MICE tourism? Is it going to be a big boom from Kashmir Valley?
See, there's a lot of opportunity for MICE tourism. During the off-season, which is during the Yatra time,
That's right.
when the hotels have space, this convention center is a very important convention center. Then the Radisson Hotel has come up, which has a lot of nice, rooms and facilities. So Kashmir can be a very important MICE because you see what MICE conferences are looking at unique destinations.
That's right.
So Kashmir is one of the most unique destinations in the world. So I think a lot of international conferences can also come here.
Okay, and what about the offbeat destinations? Because Kashmir is not all about Gulmarg, Pahalgam. So is government going
So that is what we discussed. You see, government's job will be to build roads
That's right.
and connectivity to those
Infrastructure.
and infrastructure. But it is the private sector. So this has to be done under public-private partnership. Because unless and until we do that, it's not going to work.
All right. And about Kashmir, as it's going to be a full year tourism boom, and we see the price of tickets are skyrocketing. And middle class people who want to visit to Kashmir by air, it's impossible for them to travel.
Yes, I think that's a big issue. We are going to take it up with the government. And let us hope so that we are able to put an upper capping
Okay.
on the price of air tickets. Because this is not only a problem with Kashmir. Anything happens, cricket match happens,
Yes,
you see airlines start exploiting the situation
that's right.
and start charging huge prices. There has to be a capping on the tickets. Just like, if you are able to do, fix the prices of taxi drivers from airport to the hotels, hotels to the airport. So why can't you fix the rates for the airlines?
That's right. And sir, also about Kashmir, as we see that a lot of domestic tourists are visiting to Kashmir Valley. So what about the international market?
See, tourists are tourists whether they're domestic or international.
That's right.
You see, they do have an effect on, the economy, on job creation, on poverty eradication, wherever the tourists go. So it is good that the domestic tourism is booming. But at the same time, domestic tourism is like putting money from one pocket to another pocket. We need to develop international tourism also. We can't ignore it because that is bringing in valuable foreign exchange. And international tourists are more high spending than
That's right.
domestic tourists. So I think we have to balance it. The valley desperately needs more 4-star and 3-star hotels, which need to come up because these 2-3 big 5-star hotels are charging astronomical prices,
Prices.
which I think is not reasonable for the middle class tourist.
That's
They
right.
can't afford it.
And also in the functional way, when we were covering the event, a lot of local operators, they have this issue that there is no capping on the hotel price. Is there going to be any kind of initiative from your end, because everyone was looking towards you?
No, you see, I've asked them to give a written submission
That's right.
of all their issues through Mr. Farouk, who's the chairman of the JNK chapter. And we will take it up with the government. We don't know how much successful we'll be, but we'll make 100% honest and sincere efforts.
That's right. Because everyone in the stakeholder, they have a great hope with Mr. Goyal. Everyone is saying that whatever we have proposals, it is
No,
you.
I mean, I'm not the government. I can only be a good advocate on, and Indian
Convener.
Chamber can be good advocacy, but no guarantee, no judge can guarantee the judgment.
That's right.
But that is in the hands of the judge. So, but we will take it up with the Home Ministry, we will take it up with the Tourism Ministry, we will take it up with the Civil Aviation Ministry, all the issues. And once it comes in a written form to us, we can forward it with the
That's right.
recommendations.
So now, as this wedding is coming a boost for Kashmir Valley as a tourism, so is there any other option which is going to boost Kashmir
See, Kashmir has a lot of opportunity.
opportunity?
There are a lot of Sufi shrines
That's right.
which are not known to people. They need to be promoted. There is a gondola ride not only for Gulmarg, there's a gondola ride which goes to a Sufi shrine also.
4 days.
Yeah, and which goes to the fort also. So these need to be promoted. Similarly, you see, adventure tourism,
That's right.
nature trails are there. Kashmiri cuisine is there. Cultural tourism, Kashmiri folk dances and cultural programs are there. So all this needs to be promoted in a big way.
And I'm so proud to be associated with each one of you again. So that's what is said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that's what Subhash said. That's what we are doing. We are here with ICC for the first time to say how we can take tourism forward and move forward in a very, very productive and a positive attitude.
Most welcome to Kashmir, ma'am. So you have been traveling to all across the globe to promote Kashmir. So about this function, what this function was all about?
So this function was actually uh, done by ICC, the Indian Chamber of Commerce, because they've started a new chapter here and they're trying to focus on tourism. So I, being a part of the industry and the president of the largest travel agents association of India, I was requested by Mr. Goyal that I should be a part of it, and I'm always I always want to travel wherever I can to talk about the industry, to hear their problems, to resolve their problems. I always work for the industry. For me, there could be 1,000 associations, but for me, it's one industry. So that is the way I look at it, and that's why I'm always present wherever there are issues and wherever I'm invited.
So this time we have a very big issue that's related with the airfare. Like a domestic airfare from Delhi to Srinagar, it's around 13,000 if we talk about right now.
Yeah.
So is there going to be a cap from the airlines so that a middle class family from outside state, they can plan Kashmir and they can visit here?
Well, it's very difficult to say this, that if there's going to be a capping, because the government does not believe in capping anything. The government doesn't believe in even getting into any way of curtailing cost or anything, because then they would be also doing it on the hotels, because the hotels also keep raising their prices. As and how after G20 we have seen that, and after COVID we have seen there's such a boom in hospitality that all hotels are selling very high. So if we talk about controlling, it is not going to happen so easily. So I think we should only say that more hotels should come up and more aircraft should start flying to a destination which is doing so well. And that is what we should be pushing on both sides, so that everyone gets a fair cost and also they get to travel to all countries. We are always talking to MOCA and DGCA to say that how we can bring in better structure where aviation is concerned. That fight or that dialogue is always open. We don't say we don't try, but we will continue to try that.
And what about the offbeat destinations? Because Kashmir is not all about Gulmarg, Pahalgam.
No, it's
we
not.
have so many offbeat destinations.
Yeah.
So what are the things you are going to do from your end to promote the offbeat destinations about this valley?
See, I need to see. It's very easy for me to say that I will do this, but it is for the local stakeholders to come up and say we will do this.
Oh, that's right.
Because I think it can only work that way, because the local stakeholders really know which destination to promote, what to promote, and how can we promote a certain destination. So it has to be a lot of minds working together to come on the same page and to develop that destination. Once that is zeroed down, believe you me, it's very easy, because marketing today reaches end of the world. Social media is so strong, and we as an association also help everyone to talk about the destination. We are doing it for international countries. I don't know why we are not doing it for our own country, because the international countries, the stakeholders play a very, very active and important role. But in our own country, we keep relying on the government, which is not true. We should not be relying on the government for everything. Government should be there, like I say, ease of business, but of course, ease of business is our right. That is why I say that ease of business should be a right, and they have to give it to us. And I say that very, very loudly, that it has to happen. If I start expecting everything from the government, it's never going to happen. And we will keep actually doing a blame game, and that's all what it's going to be. And that's why things have not been progressing so far. We are a robust industry. After COVID, we were the most resilient industry, because it actually shut down the first, and it started right in the end, but you see where business is today. Business is booming, where whatever you do, people are wanting to travel. And travel is never die because it's a people to people connect. Travel will never die because it's a, we cannot live in four walls. It is not just possible.
That's right.
So we have to indulge, we have to, meet other peoples, we have to communicate. So all those things are needed by a human being. And that is why tourism is not going to die. So why don't we think it that we are investing into our own industry and our own business and profession and take it to the last mile?
And what about after G20? Because before G20, there was a lot of promotion for the international tourism. So are we going to see more of the international flow in Kashmir in nearby future?
Let's hope so, because this is something we are telling the government to do a lot of marketing. But I have a different thought view again, that if the industry gets together and we actually invest in so many things, why can't we invest in our marketing ourselves? And I have started doing that as an association. We are also going and doing our own road shows for our own country with the Ministry of Tourism, with no liability of cost to them and no liability. So there are people who are coming out in front to support this industry, to even invest in this industry. I think that's what the stakeholders need to do. They just need to invest in their own industry and market it. Why not? It's our industry. You need to make a plan of your own business and say this is how it should be progressing. But if you're going to keep saying that the government needs to do that and the government needs to do that, it's not going to happen. So leaving some things for the government, I think rest should be in the height. And that is what we talk about private partnerships.
That's right.
Public-private partnerships that is what they are. And that is what we need to really invest in to see that it becomes a robust industry. All industries are looking for certain things from the government, but they are building their own industry. You can't stop the business people to, they don't wait for anything. If you're going to keep waiting for that day, it's never going to come.
We have one more representative coming from Delhi, Mr. Chandar, who is dealing with the MICE tourism. Sir, what is the scope of MICE tourism in Kashmir?
It's a huge scope. Actually, frankly speaking, Kashmir is a MICE destination. Ministry of Tourism in India, in Delhi actually, they also have Kashmir as a tourism kind of a thing, like Goa.
That's right.
Where Goa is totally tourism, they don't have. But a few years back, they called me. Ministry of Tourism requested me to go and spend one day there.
In
Goa, and they wanted to diversify their business to my segment. Same thing, we have come here.
Okay.
We have spoken to them.
Okay.
I have spoken to the Redison also. So to promote MICE tourism in India, they need MICE is not a kind of it's not a tourism.
Okay.
The hoteliers have to be trained when they have to handle the MICE segment. Okay. The tour operator, the travel agents have to be also trained.
Okay.
The Shikara rider has to be trained to handle MICE tourism. We had come here, I had come personally here around 8 years back.
Okay.
In Srinagar.
Okay.
We had 2 days program here in Srinagar.
Okay.
Where we were training the Shikara riders, Shikara owners, the travel agents, the tour operators, the hoteliers. Went to Gulmarg also. We had a half a day program there with the hoteliers in Gulmarg. Idea was to try and talk to them. What is this? They have to differentiate between
Tourism and MICE
the
tourism.
MICE tourism and the tourism kind of thing. So same thing in the morning also we were talking about it, but couldn't talk in details. But now I have spoken to them. We'll come back here. We'll try and work it out where the 10 best top players of India, MICE players,
Okay.
we bring them over here. And then the 15 or 20 conference organizers, like the association presidents and secretaries, the CEOs of different corporates, to bring them over here,
Okay.
at least for 3 days. One day we can have a session with the local
Tour operators.
travel agents, hoteliers, transporters. Tell them how the MICE is different than the tourism business. So we will try and work it out, because personally speaking, Kashmir is a destination we should be focusing on, where it's not been given an importance. In the morning you were there,
Yes.
they had a lot of issues,
That's right.
small issues. But unless if you heard me in the last speech,
That's right.
the last one, I said, look, it's not going to work. They need to come together and form some kind of a federation. They have to have a voice.
That's right.
Unless they have a voice, unless the Ministry of Tourism here in J&K, they know that this is a body which has a voice. Now they are all talking individually.
That's right.
So they need to
one
come
umbrella.
one umbrella. They have to all come under an umbrella, including the hoteliers.
That's right.
And then they have what exactly they are looking at from the government. What my experience of so many years with the government is, don't look at them as the financials kind of a thing. Look at them only the moral support kind of, and ease of doing business where
That's
somebody
right.
that should not be any problem kind of a thing with the government of India. Only thing they'll have to come together, have a voice to one body should be representing. Involve the ministry also, in the sense like we have in Federation in Delhi. The Federation is of 10 stations,
Okay.
and all these 10 stations, when we go and meet the now Ministry of Tourism doesn't talk to individual association,
No.
Tide, ICPB or any association. They talk to faith, which is very important. They need to create, like, whenever there is a budget of state government, whenever they have to frame the policy, they need to talk to one body actually. They cannot be talking to 10 associations.
Individually.
So this is what my request to them is.
And do you think that Kashmir is ready for MICE tourism?
Oh,
and
yes,
the
definitely.
Infrastructure.
No, infrastructure is there.
Okay.
Like, see this property, Radisson, such a beautiful property, beautiful infrastructure, 4 halls. Even I'm in this business for so many years. I didn't know about it.
No information.
No, I came in 2 months back. I met the Secretary Tourism here.
Okay.
And at that time also, I didn't know this property exists in Srinagar. I would have definitely seen that. And today also, I went around and it was amazing and a perfect hotel for an MICE tourism.
And as you see that right now in Kashmir, it's tulip festival. Like tulip season is here, so almost all properties are sold out 2 months in advance. If you are going to promote the MICE tourism in Kashmir, do you think that you have the hotels where you can have your corporate bookings or groups there? Because of huge demand.
You see, that is what you cannot help it. It is a demand and supply.
That's right.
Hoteliers, if you tell them, look, why you are charging 19,000 rupees. This hotel, when we spoke to the
GM of this property.
GM of this property, at that time they were asking for 22,000 rupees a day.
Day.
And finally they said, okay, all right, we can work it out 19,000, 18,000 rupees. What you're saying is correct. But then the government has to come in, pitch in, where they can increase the demand, they can increase the supply.
Supply.
If supply is increased, now many, like what happened in Goa or what happened in Kerala, there are homestay.
That's right.
So they should have a policy here in Srinagar now to create in a homestay, give them a license to operate. I think if I have to be given a chance to stay in one of the
Homestays.
homestays of any Kashmiri and taste that local food,
Delicacy
I will maybe prefer there rather than staying in the Radisson hotel. Yes, yeah.
That's right.
So this is where, after all, when they meet, they exchange these ideas. These kind of alternative also will come in. Smaller hotels, like what happened to Ayodhya now.
That's right.
You know what happened to Ayodhya?
That's right.
Now around 3 lakh people visiting every day to Ayodhya. So what happened to the accommodation there? Most of the people, they have rented. They have gone to different places. The owner of the houses. Suppose I have a 3-bedroom house.
That's right. Shift it to some other place.
Ticketed on rent, and I have converted that into an homestay. So there's not one property, it's a huge property. There is a tented accommodation now. There are almost how many? Around 300 tented accommodation in one place only. So this is where the Kashmir, now the peace is there. There's not much of a maintenance. So they have to look into that to how do we create a demand. Now tulip people are coming in here.
That's right.
There are people who cannot afford to stay in a 5-star property. They always stay in a homestay.
That's right. So in future, inshallah, we are going to see more of your efforts to bring MICE in Kashmir.
Definitely, yes. I'm serious about it.
All right.
And we'll
You are watching Travel World Online.